Okay, and the guy that you saw in the picture, do you see that person in the courtroom?
I do.
Can you point that person out and tell me what he's wearing?
He's wearing a blue plaid shirt with some blue jeans and black boots.
Judge made the record reflect identification of the defendant, Mr. Alejandro Pacheco. Thank you. And I'm sorry, officer, just to go back, the woman that you spoke with, you testified that she showed you some pictures.
Yes, ma'am.
May I approach your honor? Right.
Judge, I'm going to object. And the reason is we're here on a motion to suppress. We're not here on a trial. And we've already had arguments about what the motion is about. It's a search issue. So I'm not sure the need or the relevance of a picture that shows a person holding a gun.
Well, what's your response?
So, what's the legal basis?
Relevant, how about relevancy?
Okay.
We're here on a motion.
You don't have to respond to Ms. Ritter ever. Ever. If I didn't ask you the legal basis, you don't have to respond to Ms. Ritter. Okay. What's your response to him saying that we're here on an evidentiary hearing and not a trial? And so he doesn't understand why you submitted the picture.
Well, the reason being, Judge, that one of the people's argument for the evidentiary hearing was the extension circumstance. So that goes to that argument.
And I'll allow it. I agree.
Officer, I just handed you a document. Did you have a chance to review?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you recognize that document?
I do.
What do you recognize it as?
The picture that was shown to me when I was on the police front.
Okay, and looking at that picture, has that picture been altered or changed in any way?
Objection. There's no foundation for her to say that. She said she got it from someone, a third party.
So I don't understand the objection.
Foundation.
She said, has that picture been altered in any way since she saw it? I don't understand your objection.
The picture came from a third party.
Exactly.
How would she know if it was been altered?
How would she know if the picture has been altered since she saw it?
Oh, I didn't hear that part of the question.
Continue.
Does the court want to do?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry, officer. What was your response?
It has not been altered, no.
Okay, and is that the picture that was given to you by the person who spoke with at the scene?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Judge, at this time, people like to move to admit people's exhibits to into evidence.
Any further objection?
No objection.
Okay, then it's admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, people like to publish people's exhibit two to the court.
You may.
Thank you. And what happened after you saw that picture, officer?
After I seen that picture, my partners and I went up to the deck stairway and proceeded to place the defendant in handcuffs.
Okay, so let me step back just a minute. So when you said you approached the stairway, can you describe strike that, let me go back. What was at this location? Can you describe the building at this location?
It was like an apartment kind of thing. There was just one door, I believe, two, an upstairs and a downstairs.
Okay, and, from your knowledge, was this a residential, building?
Yes,
Okay, as you're describing it, there was more than one, unit to this building.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you describe, the porch? As you were approaching the porch, can you describe how it was set up?
There was a chair to the right side of the porch, door. That's really all I can remember.
Okay, you testified that there were some stairs. How many sets of stairs?
There was one with about 8 steps.
Okay, And where did that lead up to?
Right to the door and the whole porch.
Okay. And when you approached the stairway, what happened next?
My partner, Vogel and Stanklitz, had the defendant stand up and they placed them in, or they detained them. And then that's all I can remember.
Okay. Do you recall where the defendant was sitting?
Yep, he was sitting on a chair right in front of the door, a little to the right.
Okay. Judge, can people share their screen? Okay. So officer, there is a screenshot of a picture on the monitor. Do you see that?
I do, yep.
Okay, and do you recognize what that screenshot is of?
I believe it's my body cam.
Okay, and
It's what,
where,
I'm sorry. It's what?
My body,
Council, everybody address me. Everybody address me. Okay,
I apologize, Judge, I can't hear too.
okay. Can you please speak up?
yes,
Speak
ma'am.
into the mic. All right. Repeat what you just said.
I believe it's my body cam.
and were you wearing the body worn camera on that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what do you do at the end of your shift with your body worn camera?
I'm sorry?
What do you do at the end of your shift with your body worn camera?
We dock them in our office that we have.
Okay, you turn them in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and looking at the screenshot, has that been altered or changed, from your knowledge, since you, took your body from camera, turned it into?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then at this time, people like to mention that people exhibit one, people proposing to one that. Any objection?
No,
All right, then, exhibit one is admitted, and people suppose exhibit one is admitted.
Thank you, sir, at this time, people would like to publish, so people exhibit one.
You may.
Thank you. And for the record, the video is playing at the beginning. That's
Vaya, él es el que está llorando, está muy espantado porque él hace eso.
We're gonna pause it at 1 minute and 11 seconds. Officer, sorry, there's a delay, but what's shown on the screen that's paused, is that the stairway that leads up to the home?
Yes, ma'am.
Or the building, I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's okay. We didn't say you did. We didn't say you did, okay? We just gotta check you, make sure you don't have any pistolas, nothing like that.
This one,
Okay.
this one. I'll go ahead and just check.
Just walk that way for me.
And for the record, if you pause the video at 1 minute and 26 seconds. Officer, looking at the screen, is that the defendant that you described in your testimony that was sitting on the porch?
Yes, ma'am.
And who are the other officers in the video?
Vogel and Stanklitz.
You're not in trouble. You're not in trouble.
I did nothing wrong.
Okay.
Relax. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong.
Okay.
Leave your hand. You were holding arms.
I did nothing wrong.
Relax.
I did nothing wrong.
Okay. Yeah. We'll find out what's going on.
And I'm stop the video. I'm sorry, Your Honor, people stop the video at 2 minutes.
Okay,
And
I'm sorry, Judge, I wasn't sure why she stopped the video. I thought we were here to watch the video.
council, let her put on her case, okay? Continue.
And officer, what happened after you spoke with the complaint witness, if anything?
I do not recall.
Okay, do you recall a recovery of a weapon on the scene?
I do, but I did not recover it.
You did not recover, you observed the recovery.
I did, yes.
And who made the recovery?
It, I don't recall.
You don't,
Yeah.
okay. If I showed you a copy of the report, would that help refresh your recollection?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, may I approach?
You may.
Go ahead.
The officer, once you're done reading, you can just look at it. Okay, when you're done, you can just take that page down. So, officer, did you have the opportunity to read the report?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and after reading the report, does it refresh your recollection on who covered the weapon?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
And who was that?
It was Sergeant Stanklitz.
Thank you. Sergeant who?
Stanklitz?
Thank you. Then I have no further questions for the witness now. You may. Okay, is there any cross-examination?
Officer, your body cam was on from the moment you got out of your vehicle until the moment after the recovery of the weapon.
Yes, sir.
So the video would show, and you were following along with the officers as they arrested Mr. Pacheco at the beginning,
Yes, sir.
and you followed along when they searched the truck on the side of the apartment building.
I did not know.
Is it true pretty much that your body cam would reflect everything that happened that morning at this house regarding the arrest?
I wouldn't say everything.
Well, you know what I mean. I'm sure not every little detail, but did you follow Mr. Pacheco in handcuffs to the car?
I did, yes.
And how far was that from the porch?
I would say it was about 500 feet
500 feet. It was parked a few houses down on the street, correct?
across the street, yes.
So, before the weapon was secured, he was arrested and put in a police car, correct? He, Mr. Pacheco.
Yes.
And, do you know if any other part of the residence was searched before the gun was found?
I do not recall.
Would the video reflect that? You have to verbally answer something.
Can you repeat your question?
Sure. Did your body cam reflect, well, let me ask you, did you look at the body cam before you got here today?
Not today, no.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Does it show police officers searching the truck on the side of the building?
Not on my camera, no.
I'm sorry,
Not on my camera, no.
but on somebody's camera it does?
I didn't watch anybody else's camera.
Do you know if the truck was searched?
I do not know.
Did your body cam show the recovery of the weapon?
Not my camera, nope.
How long after Mr. Pacheco was arrested did somebody go back to the porch and search it?
I do not recall. I was in the car with my arrestee.
10 minutes?
I can't answer that.
Do you have any video of the recovery of the weapon?
I don't know.
Do you know an officer who does?
One of my partners,
Well, I've seen it as part of discovery, so I know it exists. You know it exists, correct?
No objection, that's why it's speculation.
Same.
Do you know if a video of the recovery of the weapon exists?
yes,
It does.
yes,
Do you know if that video reflects the search of the porch?
Judge objection, that has been answered.
I asked her if it,
Well, overruled, because the objection kind of was the fact not currently in evidence. Might be something that you know, but he asked her, did the body cam reflect the search of the porch, and now he's asking her. Well, I'm sorry, he asked her, did the body cam reflect the recovery of the weapon, and now he's asking her, did the body cam reflect the search of the porch? Your objection assumes that I know that the weapon was recovered on the porch. Overruled. You may answer the question.
can you repeat your question?
Does the body cam reflect the recovery of the weapon?
Yes,
Does the body cam reflect the recovery of, the search of the porch?
yes,
do you have any idea how long after the arrest of Mr. Pacheco and his placement into your patrol car that they searched the porch?
That's objection, that has been answered.
I'm asking for a time period.
She said she didn't recall, but she can answer if she knows.
I do not know.
Do you know how long you sat in your patrol car with your Mr. Pacheco?
I'd say about 15 minutes.
You speak Spanish?
Very little.
Were you able to communicate with this person who was speaking Spanish to you?
Just enough to get an idea of what was going on.
But not everything she was saying.
I understood everything she was saying, yes.
Did she tell you where the weapon was?
Judge, that objection, that's what we said.
She said evidentiary hearing, I'll allow.
She told me it was in the back of the truck.
And the truck was on the side of the house.
Yes, sir.
You know if anybody's body cam reflects the search of that truck?
Judge objection, that has been answered.
I don't remember him asking that. You can ask me. He asked if her body cam showed the search of the truck, and she said no.
Correct.
Now he's asking, does anybody's body cam show the search of the truck?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you know where, this was a BB gun, by the way, correct? That was recovered?
Yes, sir.
Do you know where it was recovered?
Objection, that has been answered. She said she didn't know.
I don't recall anybody asking the question.
Do you know where the weapon was recovered?
I believe it was recovered underneath the seat on the porch.
Where?
Underneath the chair on the porch.
And you're basing that on what?
From what I recall that day.
So you were there when they recovered the BB gun?
I was not, no.
So how can you say that what you recall on that day, they recovered it from the sheriff?
From what I was told from my partners.
I didn't think for
Anything?
Not from the people that-
I have a few questions.
Yes, ma'am.
When the person who approached you, the female, approached you, you said they showed you a picture, this picture right here.
Yes, ma'am.
How did they show you the picture?
It was on her phone.
And what did she say about the picture?
She said that she was, in her room upstairs and he started pointing the gun from that location in the picture.
And did she tell you when she took the picture?
Not in a, sometime that day.
Is that your opinion, or did she tell you that she took the picture sometime that day?
I don't recall.
Okay, you don't, okay, so when she showed you this picture and you don't recall when she said she took the picture, what did you do after you saw the picture?
That's when I proceeded to the porch and helped my partners detain the defendant.
And all right, any questions based on my question?
I have one more. You may. I just have one quick question, officer. So with regards to the first question about that picture, you testified that took the picture from where?
From upstairs in her room.
Okay. And what did she tell you about the picture that your testimony that he was pointing the gun where?
Just at her
From,
the ground level.
okay, so your testimony is that from the ground level, he was pointing the gun up at her.
Yes.
Okay, and did she tell you where she was when she took the picture?
No, she did not.
Okay. And my other question, well, I have no further questions.
I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you look up to where she said she was, standing when she took the picture?
No.
Did you notice at any time at the home that the upstairs apartment has its own porch?
Judge, objection, that's outside of the court question.
One of the issues raised by the court last time we were here was the fact that each apartment building has its own separate porch.
I did not notice a separate porch, no.
Thank you.
And I have another question. I forgot. You said that, did you say, because I didn't write it down. So did you say that you responded to this scene on a police room?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the police room for?
A felonious assault.
And do you know how long it was between the receipt of the dispatch to arriving at the location?
I do not know.
Do you have any idea?
I would say 8 to 10 minutes.
All right, any questions based on those questions?
Yes, one quick question, Your Honor. Officer, it was your testimony earlier that the woman that you spoke with on scene is the woman who placed the 911 call?
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions.
Anything, Councilman?
No.
Okay, you may step down. All right. People may call their next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, people would like to call Sergeant Stapleton.
Okay. Can you give your name to the board?
I did.
All right, spell your last name.
Stankiewicz, STANKIEWICZ.
Raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You may proceed. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Sergeant.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Can you say the full name for the record, please?
Robert Stankiewicz.
Okay, and Sergeant, there's a mic right in front of you that's adjustable. If you can keep up your voice and speak directly to the mic, that way everyone can hear you for the tape.
Sure.
Okay. All right, Sergeant, how long, or where are you employed, Sergeant?
The Detroit Police Department,
How long have you been employed with the Detroit Police Department?
16 years.
Okay, and Sergeant, I'm gonna take you back to June 7th of 2023. You recall that day?
Yes,
Okay, and were you working as a Detroit police officer on that day?
yes,
Okay, and do you recall responding to a run on Toledo Street?
yes,
And is that the city of Detroit?
it is.
Is that within the county of Wayne?
Yes.
Okay, and do you recall how you arrived at that location?
It was a police run that was dispatched to one of my cars for a police assault.
Okay, to your knowledge, do you know who made that call?
I do not.
Okay, and how did you, or how were you traveling on that day? To that scene?
I was in a vehicle by myself,
Okay, and can you describe what you were wearing?
fully blue uniform. My rank was displayed on my sleeve as well as my City of Detroit
Okay,
badge exposed.
okay, and can you describe the car that you were traveling
It was fully marked.
in? Okay, and I'm sorry, you stated that you were traveling alone, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and do you know how long it took for you to arrive at the scene, after you received the police run?
No, I can't.
Okay. Okay, and can you start by telling the court what happened when you arrived at the scene?
Once we got on scene, the CAD notes, which is our computer aided dispatch, had said that the suspect in this case was wearing a green shirt with a frog on it. As my officers, they arrived first, and I came right behind them. They started to make contact with a gentleman on a porch that was wearing a green shirt with a frog on the back.
Okay.
As described in the CAD ticket.
Okay, and did you have an opportunity to see that person that was sitting on the porch?
Yes,
Okay, and that same person that was sitting on the porch, did you see that person in the courtroom today?
I do.
Can you point that person out, tell me what they're wearing?
I guess that's a plaid shirt, blue jeans, black shoes.
Okay, and do you remember coming into contact with anyone else, on that scene?
I don't believe I talked to anybody, other than the defendant that day.
Okay, and what happened when you observed the defendant?
He was placed, in handcuffs, detained for further investigation based on
Okay,
the run.
and you said based on the run,
Yes,
which was the felonious assault.
correct.
Okay, so what is the standard, I guess, policy with BPD when you respond to a felonious assault?
I mean, they're dangerous to us. All the felonious assault could be several different things, but at this point, it was a firearm, so it was a little bit more for us.
Okay, and how did you come to the conclusion that a firearm was involved?
I was advised, by my officers, they had observed pictures of the defendant holding a handgun.
Okay, And do you recall or do you remember, if your partner told you when that picture was taken?
Objection, Judge, that would be hearsay.
It's an evidentiary hearing. You may answer.
No.
Okay. And what happened after you were provided with that information?
I went back to the area where the defendant was seated. We initially saw him on the porch.
Okay, and can you describe, if you remember, how the building was set up that you responded to?
It's a two-story multi-family home, a multi-unit home, I should say.
Okay,
2 front doors.
okay. Do you recall how many units that was on the first one?
There was 2 doors that were connected to that porch.
Okay. How many set of stairs?
1 set of stairs going up the porch.
Okay, and do you recall if there was another main door that was on the porch?
There was 2 doors to get into the structure itself.
Okay, was there another door? Do you recall? Okay, that's fine. And you testified that the defendant was sitting on that porch, correct?
Correct.
Okay, now, how did you gain entrance to the porch where the defendant was sitting?
We just walked up there.
And I'm assuming the stairs?
Correct.
Is that your testimony?
Yes,
Okay, so the stairway that you used led you to where the defendant was, correct?
yes.
Okay, and can you describe? Let's try it. May I have one moment to, you may? Let me ask you this, officer, if you recall, how was the porch, can you describe the layout of the porch?
It's a brick porch, wall that was probably, I don't know, maybe 3.5 feet, 4 feet high around the entire porch. Walls going up the side of the steps, and then the porch is connected. It goes in front of both doors that I remember.
Okay, now, if you recall, could you gain access to the other unit's side of the porch?
Yes,
Okay, and when I say gain access, I guess let me clarify, was it accessible from the common stairway that you used?
yes, it was wide, just a wide open porch.
Okay, and that's with respect to both units that was on the front porch?
Correct.
Okay, and what happened after you came onto the porch?
Well, once I got on the porch, I searched the area where the defendant was seated.
Okay, and what happened after you searched that area?
I ended up locating a black CO2 powered pellet gun just to the left of where he was seated, behind a trash bag.
Okay, and can you describe, I guess, where on the porch was this trash bag located?
It was his seat, was, if you're walking up the steps, it was all the way to the right. And the trash bag was all the way basically up against the right wall of the porch,
Okay, and where was the gun located?
right behind that bag.
Okay, could you see it walking up and looking by the bag, the gun in front of you?
No, I couldn't.
Okay, so you had to move some things to locate the gun?
I did.
What did you do after you, saw the, what did you describe it as?
There was a CO2 powered pellet gun.
A pellet gun. What did you see after you saw that pellet gun?
I recovered it.
Okay, do you recall who placed it on the evidence tag?
I did not. I turned it over to Officer Vogel, who I believe was the one that placed it on evidence.
Did you ever place it on evidence?
I did not.
You did not. At any point, Sergeant, did you come into contact with the, another individual that was on the scene?
I know there was the caller had been there, but I don't believe I talked to her. It was a female. I don't believe I talked to her.
You don't believe you talked to her? Then I have no further questions for the witness.
Good afternoon, Sergeant.
How are you, sir?
Thank you for asking. Sergeant, on that day and time, did you have a body cam?
I did.
And did you record, was it working?
Yes, sir.
So have you viewed the body cam video of what transpired in front of you that during the arrest?
I had, it's been a little bit, but I haven't watched it in full, no.
Well, not for today, I assume, but you've
No.
seen it.
I have seen it.
So it would reflect you recovering the weapon,
It would, yes.
and it would reflect you recovering the weapon from a different portion of the porch than his seat. Let me-
Different portion of the porch, what?
Let me strike that. That was a terrible question.
Well, I don't know what it was, but go rephrase it. Go
Thank you,
ahead.
Judge. First of all, did you have a warrant to search the porch?
No, I didn't.
At the time you searched the porch, where was Mr. Pacheco?
He was, down below by the driveway, if I remember correctly.
He was arrested, was he not?
He was in handcuffs, he was detained for the moment.
So he was placed in the police car?
Not at that time, he was not.
But he was detained
Yes,
in cuffs,
yes,
surrounded by a couple of your fellow officers.
there were three of us.
He wasn't going anywhere.
Sure.
The BB gun or pellet gun, as you call it, was not recovered underneath his chair.
I didn't say it was recovered under his chair.
I understand that.
Judge objection to the fact that.
Oh, you're rude. He's asking him about something that the other witness said. You can ask it.
Is it true that you, when you recovered the BB gun, pellet gun, excuse me,
Sure,
it was not underneath the chair that Mr. Pacheco was sitting?
that is correct.
And by the way, when you first saw Mr. Pacheco, was he in fact sitting on the chair on the porch,
Yes,
just sitting there? Was he doing anything?
no, he wasn't.
Was there anything in his hands?
No, there was not.
At any time before he was placed in cuffs, did he do anything as far as trying to conceal something?
Not that I could see.
Now, you say you recovered this pellet gun underneath a bag. How many bags of stuff were piled on that against the wall?
There was a lot of items. That particular bag, there was if I remember correctly, there was a large trash bag and then a large black trash bag and then a smaller black grocery bag that were right where that
So
was.
did you have to move a bag to recover the pellet gun?
Yes, I did.
And there were bags of stuff all around the perimeter of the porch, was there not?
I wouldn't say all around the perimeter, but in that immediate area where the chair was, yes.
And how far away from his chair did you recover the pellet gun? How many feet?
On a tape measure, I couldn't say, but as a guesstimate, 2 feet.
Again, your video cam would reflect that, wouldn't it?
It would.
I have nothing further, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Ritter? Are y'all kidding me? Didn't we come here so I can see his body cam?
Yes.
Okay, so are we gonna play the body cam?
I'd asked the court to.
You asked me about that first witness's body cam. She said her body cam didn't show the search. Now, she said the sergeant did the search. Now the sergeant is sitting in the chair and nobody is showing me the body cam. Can I see the body cam? Let's play the body cam for the sergeant. Well, then, this is useless. Thank you, you may step down.
Thank you.
Anything further?
No, thank you.
Judge, when I was here last, I had argued that I had seen in the discovery a video that showed everything on this thing, including
Apparently, it's the sergeant's body cam, counsel, that is not here today, so I don't know why we're here today. If I wasn't gonna see the body cam that showed the search, that's why we were here, for that body cam. I'm ready to make my decision. Anything further?
I'd ask the court to delay it unless, I think it's crucial that the court sees exactly what happened.
Today is the day set for the evidentiary hearing. Is there anything further with respect to the search from the people?
Judge, just the people reiterating their original argument that was already read by the court. I don't know if the court wants to reiterate what the people are reading.
I don't need anything in the motion reiterated. We came here so I could see the body cam video of the search. I had a couple of questions with respect to the search, and we came here so I could see the search of the porch. Okay. Anything further?
Not gonna be.
Anything?
Unless you want more argument, no.
All right.
Court is going to grant this council's motion to suppress.
Officer has not given me any reason as to why they searched an area of a porch that was hidden under some, bags, where he had to go under one large bag to another large bag. Officers indicated that they don't know, how much time passed between receiving the call and showing up at the location. The officer doesn't know when the photograph of Mr. Pacheco carrying a weapon was even taken. Yet they have not presented anything to the court that says that this was any type of exigent circumstance, which would be the only way that they can conduct a warrantless search of an area of a porch on private property. The motion is granted.
Thank you.
Well, with respect to the charges, I'm not paying attention. With respect to the charges, are the people able to proceed, now that the gun has been suppressed?
Yes, sir.
All right, what's the next court date? Um, Counsel, if you could fill out one of those, forms over there though. Dismissal, not dismissal, one of those, like, they used to be blue, but now it's like a blank order form. It might be on top of the file cabinet. Granting the motion to suppress. Well, that's on a full sheet of paper, but I don't know what that is. Maybe somebody made a copy of it, okay. Let's see the register of this case, but I left the power. Is your client still not gonna tender?
No, Judge.
All right, it looks like before the motion hearing, which was adjourned a couple of times, I know one of the times it was my fault, but I mean, it was my request. Looks like we were at the final pretrial conference stage. Yeah, it looks like we were at the final pretrial conference stage, and then I set this motion hearing date. So the people have indicated that they, can't proceed without even with the suppression of the, evidence. So come back up, sorry, come back up. I'm assuming that your, client is continuing to not guilty plea and continue the matter to a trial?
Yes, Judge.
And is that a jury trial?
Yes, Judge. But may I impose on the court to set one more final pretrial in this matter? So I can possibly talk to the prosecutor now that this motion has been resolved.
Yes, but I'm gonna give you a final pretrial, but I need to put it on the trial docket because my trial docket is heavy. So I have, my first available trial date is not until October, maybe November. And that's with 4 cases on each jury trial day. Yeah, can you write, somebody tell them oh, we need some help over here. What did Mr. Reed? Mr. Reed is pretty sure his case is gonna go. That triple defendant case, yeah, I won't put it. I won't put anything else on there. Yeah, counsel, I'm all the way at, November 18th. Well, okay, I'm at November 18th. However, let me give you 2 choices. I could do November 18th, but I could also do the following week because, which is the week of Thanksgiving. You don't want to do that?
No,
Well-
I'm getting invited to Chicago for a grandkid day.
Well, go ahead, go to that,
Yes,
because that's what's important. One day, when my kids cooperate, I'm gonna get invited to a grandkid day too. Okay. So I can put you on November 18th. You won't be the first in priority, but if the 2 cases settle, then yours would be first. Now, if you want to be first in priority, meaning you want to, make sure that your case is the one that goes, then I wouldn't be able to schedule you until. I'm in jail. That's Bryant, why y'all working so hard? Actually, you can't be first in priority because I have at least 1 jury trial on every day this year, so I can put you on. I think that might go. I can put you on November 18th with a
that's fine.
Okay, and then I can give you a final pretrial conference. Now the 2 trials that's on that day, their final pretrial conferences are November 1st.
That's fine too, Judge.
Okay,
9 o'clock for each.
yeah, yes. But 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah, 19th. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
So. All right, so I should have 3 cases on for 19. All right, we're all set.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Here, Counselor, if you want to copy.